As a creative person and more of a generalist, I just want to do so many things and I'm running out of time. I started waking up earlier, as you know from my previous video, but there's only so many hours a day you can add to your schedule. Maybe you have many things you want to try and do as well, or just trying to get more free time, or maybe you're just tired and don't feel like pushing yourself so hard constantly to try and keep crushing numbers. Working smarter instead of harder is something that I'm still learning, and I'm inviting you to join me on my journey. I only have the feeling of being productive at the end of a really long day where I focused really hard and scratched some things off my to-do list. That's the only time where I feel like I'm making a real difference, when I'm like, as they say, pushing the needle. But recently I have been researching this behavior, because what does it even mean to work smarter instead of harder? And how do you apply it practically? This term was mentioned first by Alan F. Morgenstern, and something that I've been exploring for the last couple of weeks. The first thing that I found out is that it's not about education or IQ. Someone can be extremely smart and still work their ass off. They can get lost into detail and get distracted by their own knowledge. Also, we've seen many cases of very successful people who either dropped out of school or never finished their higher education. So what does working smarter refer to then? It's about reaching your goal with less effort and less stress by solving problems creatively and working more efficiently. And guess what? It starts again with the question, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve and what do you want your life to be like? Visualizing that for yourself, it seems to be the start and the core of everything good. For me, it's becoming financially free so that I can educate creatives on using new technologies and work on really cool projects all the time. And if I break that into smaller steps, then the right goal for me right now is to grow an audience, to find like-minded people, and to build a community of creative technologists and creative professionals. Please let me know if you want to be part of that. But if you don't know or you are not sure yet about your goals of your life or your goals in work, one book that I can really recommend is Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. It really helps you step by step with practical assignments to build for yourself a plan for the future, and it even includes backup plans in case your plan doesn't work out. So once you have a goal, it can be even a smaller goal or multiple goals, you can apply the 20-80 rule. This is also called the Pareto Principle, which states that 80% of the consequences come only from 20% of the effort. For me, that practically meant that I started evaluating everything coming my way that excites me, everything that takes my time, because I like to do everything and I get passionate about something really quick. But if I want to reach my goals sooner, I should focus on the 20% that really matters. So it becomes about cutting out tasks and activities that don't support your goal. And it's a really good practice to learn and say no and prioritize only the things that are important. And what you spend your time on, it becomes more of a strategic decision instead of an emotional one. But when I tried this, I realized that the goals I had written down, they don't include my social life or mental health, but I think they should actually. Because obviously spending less time on friends and family and self-care also influences your mental health. That needs to find a way into your schedule for sure if that's important to you as well. So the second thing I've learned about working smarter, not harder, is to leverage the tools and skills you have available to yourself. It's what you know combined with who you know. If you are a creative person, you can use that. You can probably visualize something much faster than writing something down. And if you are a social person, use that. Talk about your goals with friends and collaborate. And if you are more technical, then maybe you can automate parts of your work or combine certain tools to somehow get more efficient. Or if you are just organized, you can maybe share templates or workflows with people who are not. Find out what you are good at and then double down on that. I had to think quite a bit on what I could leverage, but there are some examples I can share with you. For example, social media. I'm actually good at creating content and writing, and I've done this before for my Instagram. So I'm leveraging that right now to reach my audience, to reach you. Another thing I can leverage because of my knowledge of AI, I'm thinking about trying out different time management AI tools. I spend a lot of time planning what I will do every day, so maybe I can train an AI and get it to do it for me. If you are interested to hear more about AI time management tools, I'm happy to try it out and share it with you. Just let me know into the comments. The last point is about how much time to invest in things. I have always had the mindset that working hard is the only way to reach your goals. With a little bit of perfectionism, that means that every single hour of the day is filled in and you never ever finish something. It feels like you can always make it just a little bit better or add a little bit more wow factor. When I created my previous video, for example, I shot it accidentally in Full HD instead of 4K. And I was thinking about recreating and redoing the whole video, even though it took me hours. And I'm glad that I didn't. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to stop giving things too much time when it's maybe not even needed. If you have 1 hour to finish a presentation, I'm sure you can draft something together. If you would have a full day to create the same presentation, you would add so much more detail and make the presentation much better, of course. But if you would have only 5 minutes to create a presentation, you would get down to the heart of the message real quickly, the core of the presentation, and it becomes more of an elevator pitch. And actually, all 3 of those presentations could have the exact same effect on the audience. But it's the amount of time that you set yourself to finish something that decides how much time you will have left over. But for this, you really need to let go of perfectionism. Another good advice that I encountered is to spend your time like you spend your money. In general, people are very careful what they spend their money on. If you can get the same thing for a lower price, it's a very good deal. And it's not smart to spend a lot of money on something that's worthless. But we don't often treat time the same way. Think about your lifetime as a budget. You have a budget of 12 hours today. What would you spend it on? It's so easy to get lost in social media, scrolling through posts, or binge watching another Netflix series. And of course, you need to sometimes take rest, take some time for yourself. But once you start approaching your time like it was money, you get more careful on how much time you lose so that you don't waste your budget. Because then there will just not be anything left for the things that are more valuable. So here's the main takeaway of what it means to work smarter and not harder. It's not about education, but about efficiency. Start with getting your goal clear. Focus on the 20% that matters, and the 80% will come from it. Leverage the skills and tools you have available to you and spend your time like you spend money. I still have a lot of practice to do, but I hope this video helps you to make the most out of your time and to help you reach your goals. If you want to stay updated with my goal and my progress, I will put a link to my newsletter into the description below. Same for my other social handles. Bye for now, and I wish you a very nice day.